ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. I don't mean to say anything disparaging about pollsters. You know, every politician has his pollster that tells them what to do. Well, in olden times, instead of pollsters, they had astrologers that told them what to do. I don't mean to say that pollsters are astrologers. Pharaoh had his astrologers. One day they came to him and they said, you know, the savior of the Jewish people is about to be born. When Pharaoh heard that, he had legions of slaves working for him for nothing. And here somebody was going to finish that, terminate the slave period in Egypt. He instructed the Jewish midwives, you know what? At the moment of birth, if you see it's a boy, kill him. And that's it, because the Jewish Savior is about to be born. What do you mean he told the Jewish midwives? Did he expect the Jewish midwives to do that? Why didn't he name Egyptian midwives? That from this day on, Jewish women, the Hebrew women, had to use Egyptian midwives, and they would surely fulfill what his wishes were. But you know, when you read history, you see tyrants many a time pick people from the same oppressed people to oppress them also. The Nazis, for instance, had couples in camps, in concentration camps, Jews who would really be worse sometimes than the Nazis themselves. Why did they do that? Maybe they were trying to save themselves. I always feel you cannot place yourself in their situation because the conditions were extreme. But eventually, they have the same destiny as every other Jew. Maybe they just push a little bit away their final solution, but the final solution came to these people as well. Maybe Pharaoh thought also, the Jewish midwives, they will certainly fulfill it because they will have hope that their own children maybe will be saved. But the Jewish midwives didn't do that. They let every Jewish boy live. But difficulty arose, of course, because Pharaoh decided, you know, since the Jewish midwives do not fulfill his wishes, from now on, all the Jewish boys had to be thrown into the Nile, had to die, had to be thrown into the Nile. So one Jewish mother who was pregnant and gave birth to a boy, put him in a basket and let him navigate in the Nile. Who was that woman? Her name was Yocheved. Her husband was Amram. Actually, Amram had decided to leave his wife. They are not going to live anymore as husband and wife because if they have a boy, he'll have to be killed. So the daughter, the oldest daughter, her name was Miriam, said, what do you mean you're going to separate from your wife? You are even worse than Pharaoh. Pharaoh made an edict against the boys. You're including the girls as well. No Jewish girls are going to be born. So Amram came back to his wife. So the Torah tells us that the mother, after the baby was born, put him in the Nile. Miriam went to see what is going to happen to her little brother. There was also a brother Aaron, but Aaron didn't go. And then the Torah says that the daughter of Pharaoh came to bathe in the Nile. She heard the cries of a baby coming out of the basket. She said, it must be surely one of the Hebrew boys, and she rescued him. What was she doing? She was disobeying the law, the edict of her own father. Wasn't she afraid? Maybe she thought, being the daughter of Pharaoh, nothing will happen to her. But there must have been doubt anyway in her mind. Maybe her father will do something drastic. We have seen this happen in history afterwards also, where family members are eliminated by tyrants. But you see something very curious happening. My teacher, Rav Soloveitchik, says, from the moment that Amram, who was the leader of the Jewish people, he was a Levite, when he separated from his wife, he lost leadership of the Jewish people. You know who became the leaders in Egypt? The women. You have the two midwives. They decided what to do. Here was Yocheved. She gave birth, put her son in a basket. He was the daughter of Pharaoh. You know what the name of the daughter of Pharaoh was? According to Chronicles, Divrei Hayamim, the last book in the Bible, it says her name was Bitya. Bitya means daughter of God. She was an extraordinary woman. You know, these women were really the leaders of the Jewish people until Moses appeared. Without the Jewish women, who knows what would have been our fate. But not only then, there was a prophetess by the name of Devorah. There was a queen by the name of Esther who saved the Jewish people. You know, there was a prophet by the name of Shmuel. He is the one that really consolidated 12 tribes into a nation. You know why he was a prophet? Because his mother, Hannah, planned his life for him. She dedicated him to the service of God. Jewish women have played a very important role throughout history. Without Jewish women, who knows what our history would be? Take a look at the world of Islam, where women have a secondary place, don't have all the rights of men, even in our regular society. In Judaism, even though women have special functions, they had leadership functions as well. Do you know who Madame Curie was? What she did with radiation? Do you know who Golda Meir was? You know, great leaders in the Jewish people. Take a look at your own home. Isn't there leadership in your home that comes from a woman? Do you know friends? Do you know some women who have qualities of leadership? Look at it very carefully. You will recognize that there is great dynamism, great source of leadership in the Jewish woman.